The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
Everybody's favorite episode, and even though we've never done it here on Locked On Canucks, there isn't a single sports fan out there who doesn't love bold predictions. So let's get into it. 3 bold predictions for me, 3 bold predictions from Kyle, coming up next year on Locked On Canucks.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Locked On Canucks. My name is Trevor Beggs, Canucks writer for Daily Hive Vancouver, and one half of the sexy team here on Locked On Canucks. Before we dive into the episode, we got to thank you for tuning in to Locked On Canucks. It's your team, your Canucks, every day. Make sure you go subscribe or follow for free on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. I also got to say, this episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get up to $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn today to get started. On today's episode is bold prediction season, baby. I got 3, Kyle's got 3, and then we got a battle at the end with a little bit of Beggsy versus Bowen. Get the fire going before the season starts. But first and foremost, let me introduce this guy who I call my brother, but maybe things will get a little fire in this episode. Kyle Bowen, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm chilling. I'm leaning into the sunshine, okay? Again, not a lot of days left where we get this, and as much as an umbrella can fix everything, sometimes you don't got an umbrella. You get what I'm saying? Speaking of which, one of the best gifts you can give somebody during the holidays, which it's that time now, is an umbrella, a nice one for Christmas. Anyways, Kyle Bowen, Trevor Beggs, you're Canucks. You're Canucks, not your team, you're Canucks every day. And the West Coast bias it's in my blood today, okay? Because after yesterday, after one of the darkest moments of my life, for real, because I'm supposed to be a changed man, and I'm not supposed to be that scared of something that I want to be hopeful for, okay? After yesterday, I'm excited to do this. Just do this and talk about some bold predictions, and I'm having some faith that Trevor Beggs, who's first up, is going to have some nice wishes, okay? Not just bold predictions, but some nice, beautiful wishes. Am I right, Trevor?
You're goddamn right about that. I got to keep it semi-positive, right? Bold prediction season. It could be negative, though. Who knows, man? And maybe that'll cause some more fighting between you and I.
Oh,
that's
man.
Going down a real negative path.
Oh,
but
man.
I'll start first and foremost with one about Elias Pettersson. And Kyle, I'm assuming you might have one about Pettersson too, but I'm gonna say this: I think Pettersson is going to lead the league in points at even strength the next season.
Ooh.
So, look, I think it's too bold to say that he's going to lead the league in points because Connor McDavid plays in the NHL. Yeah, I know that Connor McDavid guy. He's all right. But I do think Elias Pettersson, when you look at even strength points, he compares favorably to Connor McDavid. I know McDavid and Draisaitl are always going to pile up the points at even strength. But, even looking at last season, in terms of, guys who play the whole season, in terms of total points per 60, Elias Pettersson had more points per 60 at even strength than Connor McDavid. He did finish behind a few stars such as Tage Thompson, David Pastrnak, Matthew Tkachuk, Jeff Skinner, and Nathan McKinnon. But that was it. Pettersson with over 3 points per 60 at even strength. I think he's going to lead the league in even strength points this season. Let's go, baby. And I also think that, this is so much a bold prediction, but I think he's going to have more points than he did last season. Last season he had 102 points. Despite being excellent even strength, he didn't have a lot of power play points. So I think there's room to grow for Pettersson, man. How about that for some optimism to start the show, Kyle?
I like it, but be specific, man. Give me a point number, because I'm feeling the same way, and I'm liking this, and it's one of the 3 things that have to go right? Pettersson has to exceed expectations, take his game to another level, and overall produce more goals, because goal scoring is going to be the point of strength for this team. Anyways, how many points does he get this coming season?
At even strength, okay, so the leader at even strength points last season was Nathan McKinnon. He had 65 points at even strength. Pettersson had 56 points at even strength. I think Pettersson, He hits 70 points at even strength, okay? Let's go. That's almost 1 point at even strength per game, baby. That's what I'm talking about with Elias Pettersson, the Vancouver Canucks.
Damn, and then the overall point total, like if he has 70 even strength points, like are we talking about 115 points for Elias Pettersson in Trevor Beggs' world right now?
That's what I'm thinking, man. But I'm not going to say that's bold prediction number 2. That's just my prediction. I'm going to say Pettersson at least topped 110 points.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
I don't think he's going to have
Thanks
as many
for that,
shorthanded points. I don't know if they want to use him on the PK as much. Although if he keeps winning faceoffs like he does, then it's going to be a strong possibility.
Trevor, you need to do this more. You need to just honestly, can you do us all a favor and just you're only saying nice things for the next 5 days, okay? Please. Just nice
I'll
things.
try my best until the regular season starts. You get nothing but positive Beggsy, okay? I'm done being the darkest guy on the program for at least 3 episodes.
Bad guy Beggsy. Bad guy Beggsy. Damn, I like it.
I'm going to divert from Pettersson because I think I can make a few pretty bullish Pettersson predictions, but I'm going to divert for a second and go to Thatcher Demko. I'm going to say bold prediction, Thatcher Demko is a nominee for the Vezina this season because if the Canucks are going to make the playoffs, they need their goaltender, Thatcher Demko, to step up and be a hero. I don't trust this defense. This penalty kill is going to be average at best. If they're going to go in the playoffs and make some noise, they need Thatcher Demko to be the man, okay? So Thatcher Demko, I'm going to say that he finishes as a top 3 candidate in Vezina voting. Thatcher Demko, maybe he'll even get a few shutouts. I mean, he's been one of those guys who hasn't had a lot of shutouts in his NHL career, despite being a pretty good goaltender. Look, goaltending is crazy, man, and I think it goes in ebbs and flows. Not a great season for Demko last year. I'm predicting a huge season for Thatcher Demko this year.
Bro, you know what you're doing for me right now? You're filling me up with possibly some of the biggest smiles that I've had in quite some time. And I love it. Thank you for the positivity, man. Shout out to Locked On Canucks. Shout out to the people listening to this because I feel as if I'm in therapy right now, or just I'm talking to a life coach, or I'm at church or something. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I feel joyful. I feel heavenly right now. So thank you, Beggsy, because I'm tapping into what you're saying, and I'm even more curious / giddy. Some may call it right? I'll bleep that out to get to your third point, because I feel as if something else is coming that's positive. This better not be no 1-2, you know? Give me something else.
Yeah, so, everydayers might be familiar with my third bold prediction in terms of this take. I've given it a few times. But I'm going to say that Pettersson, Kuzmenko, and Besser finished the season as one of the best lines in the NHL. I think this is a bold prediction because Rick Tocchet has shown no inclination of wanting to take Besser off of JT Miller's line. I don't like that duo. I think they're going to struggle defensively like they have in the past and not make up with it offensively. I think they're going to have to move Besser somewhere else in the lineup. Moving him down to me doesn't make a lot of sense. Moving it up makes more sense to me because you have Mikheyev, who's coming off a pretty major injury. You got Nils Höglander, who hasn't proven things at the NHL level. Besser, I think, is going to end up being the best option for the top line. The Canucks are going to have to go that route. And I think when those 3 players get on the same line, there's going to be some damn magic, baby.
I love it, man. Thank you, man. And if you're going to say that, I got to do this. I got to put you on the spot, Trevor, because it only makes sense. Because if that's going to happen, Kuzmenko and Pettersson, they're going to do their thing. I think we're pretty confident in that. Brock Besser has to do that thing and that thing again and that thing again and that thing again for, a long stretch of games. He's got to be that guy. And if he's on the best line of hockey, I want to know, how many goals is he scoring? Give me the number.
I think Besser is going to hit 25 goals. I'm not going to say he hits 30, but I think Besser is going to have 25 goals and 70 points.
There you go, man. There you go.
You can pile up the assist, man. It's not all about the goals for Besser anymore.
I want 80 points from Brock Besser, man. Come on, man. Come on. Man. No. Come on, bro. Is that too much to ask for? There's been something trending on Twitter, in the Canucks world. It's that Brock Besser rookie tape. A lot of us seeing that rookie tape, okay? And this is the West Coast, it's the best coast. I got that West Coast bias. We're being hopeful. I want 80 from Brock Besser.
Is that your bold prediction, or are you saving your bold prediction?
That ain't, bro. That ain't. Mine's coming on the other side, but
all right.
If you want that line being the best,
if Besser, if and when Besser ends up on that top line, he doesn't need to be the goal scorer. Pettersson, Kuzmenko, and Besser can also score goals. It's not just going to be Pettersson and Kuzmenko setting up Besser to be the sniper. I think much like the Canucks power plays operated through preseason when all the top guys have been there, everyone's moving around. And I think it could be the same with the top line of Pettersson, Kuzmenko, and Besser. It doesn't have to be just, Pettersson and Kuzmenko in the quarters getting best with the puck. I think all those guys can play playmaking roles, shooting roles, grinding in the corner roles. So that's why I'm really, really hopeful, and I'm going to put out there's a bold prediction that those three end up on a line together and make some magic happen.
There you go, man. Well, I'm really, really grateful again for your optimism because you've been just a drag to be around recently. And look at your evil laugh. If you just want to play that back, come on, bro. That was an all-natural laugh, and you're being honest. That's why I love you. You're an honest dude. You speak from the heart. You say what you want. And all I'm saying is I'm not the strongest 30-year-old right now, okay? I'm recovering from a shoulder injury. I don't even know how I got this shoulder injury, okay? Maybe it was those push-ups. I'm just vulnerable right now. And I've listened back to our episodes, and I realized that, man, one of the smartest guys I know in the world of hockey is telling me to beware most of the time. But anyways, let's talk about the moment. You just filled us up with joy. And again, I'm grateful. Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
And no problem, and if you want some more joy in your life, well, we'll see if Kyle's got the joy for you on the other side here when he gives his 3 bold predictions for the Canucks this season. But I know one thing's for sure. If you want more joy in your life, you got to slap on the Birddogs, baby, because, Kyle and I, we're getting older, grumpier, crustier, and the one thing keeping us young, fresh, and sexy is Birddogs.
Hey.
Without that, I'm telling you, man, I'm in this gray room with the tree behind me, man.
You know what else is keeping me sexy? I tell people all the time, man, I'm host of Locked On Canucks, one of them. I tell them that all the time. Nothing sexier than a hockey podcaster. I'm telling you, man. Birddogs and dude. I'm gonna get the Locked On logo embroidered on my tidy whities from Birddog right in the middle. What?
Birddogs. Honestly, man, you make a great point because hockey podcaster. They are sexy for sure.
Yeah, man.
And wearing Birddogs is pretty much the sexiest thing you could do. Birddogs, they're functional for any occasion, okay? You can wear them before you're about to make love. You can wear them to, parties. You can wear them golfing, dates for an evening.
Oh, dude, they help you last longer.
Man.
They help you last longer in bed.
100%.
Because of the confidence.
Yeah. No, there's little hummingbirds in some pairs of the Birddog shorts that, they get me a.
Ooh, what? I don't even know. Okay, that one's going to happen.
True story, man. True story. All I got to say, okay, go find out yourself. Go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL or enter promo code LockedOnNHL at checkout for a free Birddogs water bottle with your order. That's birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL for a free water bottle at checkout. You won't want to take your Birddogs off, except for lovemaking. Maybe not even then. We promise ya.
Okay, you're back on Locked On Canucks. Your Canucks every day. Subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed the show. If you didn't, it's all good. It's all good, man. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. You know what? Again, that we shouldn't be saying that out loud, right? Hit the dislike button. Yo, just tell the truth. Tell your truth. Trevor, what do I always say? Remember that one time you called me in the middle of the night when I was like 23 years old? It was my 23rd birthday. I just left my girl. She just left me. And you said, yo, dude, the truth sets you free. And the truth is you deserved way better. You know what I'm saying? Remember when you said that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. So the
I
truth
want the
matters.
best for you, buddy.
Thank you, man.
And I want the best for you listening right now, too. So you got to be honest with us, be honest with yourself, and be nice to other people.
For sure, man. For sure. Hey, speaking of honesty, I honestly believe all these things I'm about to say are going to happen.
I like it.
And I'm going to start off. It's going to be hard, man. I'm going to start off with the bad. Again, you try talking to Trevor Beggs every day for 5 months and try not to think like this, okay? I think Pettersson puts up 115 points. I think he gets nominated as as one of the MVPs of the league. I think he wins the Selke. I think the Canucks win a round in the playoffs. And then I think he leaves.
Whoa. Damn, what happened to you, man? I wasn't expecting
Shut
that
up.
one.
You already know what happened to me, okay, Trevor Beggs? You already know.
Okay, all right. Explain your rationale. So I think the whole reason behind Pettersson leaving was like, oh, if the Canucks have a bad season, he's going to leave town. You think he's going to have an incredible season? The Canucks are going to win a round of the playoffs, and he's going to leave? That's beyond bold, man. I think you've got a screw loose.
Or is it the thing, for players to do whatever they want? Matthew Tkachuk did all that and he left. Matthew Tkachuk is on that level.
But Matthew Tkachuk was also an American living in Calgary.
Dude, come on. This dude's, I don't know. What does that mean? What does that mean? Don't they got Montanas in Calgary? Like, I'm pretty sure Calgary's the most American place ever, to be honest. It's definitely one of the coolest American type places in Canada. He just wanted to leave. He wanted to do what he wanted to do, because at the end of the day, guys who work that hard, who play that hard too, put their body on the line, and people who are listening to this, like, what are you talking about? Pettersson dude, watch the games. This guy's doing it all. When you get to that age, 24, 25, you've been practicing every day for like a decade and a half, waking up early, doing your thing, working your ass off, and now you're 25 and you can do whatever. It's, sometimes, again, we're living in 2023. People are being nicer to themselves, doing what they want, and unfortunately, like, 1 year of success isn't guaranteed the next. Like, Pettersson's a smart guy. He's a cerebral guy. I don't think 1 year is necessarily going to be good enough to guarantee, him staying in Vancouver. Come on, man. I'm scared, man.
Broken you down this bad, buddy.
I'm scared, and this is what happens, right? This is what happens again. Maybe 2 or 3 days ago, we're recording this on the same day we recorded yesterday's episode. We talked about what? We talked about Zach Benson. Zach Benson being way better than Tom Willander will ever be already. You brought out one of the darkest subjects to bring out at this time. We're vulnerable, seeing pretty average, mediocre preseason entertainment, if you want to call it that. And you bring out that, and you talked about, again, Zach Benson being way better than Tom Willander, and it had me thinking. I really think one of the bold things that may happen this year, and it may happen early, based on, Quinn Hughes' defensive partner, is packaging some sort of trade that involves Podkolzin and someone else for a defenseman. I got to get that, okay?
Is that going down as one of your bold predictions, Kyle?
Yeah, that's
Trading
my other.
Podkolzin?
I want to segue my way somehow out of the Pettersson spiel, because, dude, that's one of the scariest things I've ever said in my life. Right there.
Yeah.
That's like saying my dreams will never come true. I know, but again, I've been hanging out with you, and the whole Tkachuk thing just came to mind, and yeah. Anyways, I'll shut up. You go.
Yeah, I'll say this: I could see them trading Vasily Podkolzin, just because he doesn't look like he's fit in with this organization, and the organization doesn't seem to be a big fan of him. I say that, but Talkie's had a lot of nice things to say about Podkolzin, but again, actions speak louder than words. But I will say, if the Canucks are trading Vasily Podkolzin at this point, you're selling him for pennies on the dollar. And it's pretty hard to trade a winger for a defenseman. So, like, unless your trade is going to be like Podkolzin and like a second round pick for some defenseman who's young with some potential, who hasn't lived up to it. Like, do you think the Canucks are going to part with a high draft pick and Podkolzin?
No. I think they're just going to take one of those swings and not, like, okay, quote unquote, give up on a guy, but in exchange for somebody who can fill up another place where you want to hit a grand slam, or some sort of, how you said pennies on the dollar? Like, what if Podkolzin is a penny? What if they just want to get a quarter, like 50? Just take a chance, because again, that's that guy who's playing with Quinn Hughes. And if you want to break it down to a more broader term, another top 4 D-man, we just talked about the importance of impressing Pettersson. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a big season for the Canucks. They got to win games. I could see them be a little desperate early on, and not desperate, but calculated too, to take another swing at possibly being able to fill up that spot. It's important. I could see it.
Yeah, and I guess 2 names came to mind when you said that. Podkolzin. We talked about Riley Walsh yesterday. I think you said Zach Benson episode was yesterday. I think it was a couple days ago. I know your head's swimming in negativity right now.
Yeah.
Talked about Riley Walsh on yesterday's episode, talking about the waiver wire conundrum with the Canucks, and he was a player I really liked, right shot D. Was a pretty highly touted prospect, now 24. Like now that he's cleared through waivers, perhaps he's more attractive. Like maybe, and could see Podkolzin fitting the Boston Bruins kind of mold. So maybe it was like a Podkolzin for Riley Wallace trade out there. That's something that just came to my head. Another one could be Kevin Ball in New Jersey. I think Kevin Ball is going to make their team. Kevin Ball's massive. He's like 6'6", 230 pounds. He was part of the Taylor Hall trade to Arizona when he was a prospect back in Arizona. Kevin Ball, that is. So maybe like a Podkolzin for Kevin Ball trade. You think Kevin Ball right now, and again, third pairing defenseman, but maybe he's the big physical guy who can play alongside Quinn Hughes and put some fear into the opposition. I can see a trade like that happening.
Kevin who? Kevin who? Kevin Ball?
Kevin Ball, Bahl. He's actually from New West, so bringing another BC boy home potentially.
Damn, what do we call those people? A bud. We call them a bud, a BC bud, one of those guys.
A BC bud.
That's cool, man. And, in my mind, when I was thinking of this, I was more in line with acquiring a guy who's not playing up to, like, his potential or whatever, or maybe has, like, a year left on his contract, is a bit young still, and has been, in the NHL, though, steadily, taking it's like more of like because they got to, I'm thinking worst case, and they essentially need to bring in somebody else to play NHL games in their top 6. Because we talked about this on yesterday. I know we're alluding to the throwback a lot on today's episode, but nothing's really stood out that great in the preseason. Like, again, I feel as if the bare minimum has been tolerable right now, and it would have been nice to see some standout things. And I heard Sat say something too. He said if the Canucks really like Cole McWard, they have to handle him carefully as well. And is it best for him to start off the season potentially taking L's? And then, you know what I'm saying? Where's his development best suited if the Canucks are really high on him? And I think tying that together, bringing up that player, and then overall Podkolzin in general, and how important this season is, I could see the Canucks get a little desperate. My third bold prediction, okay, I'm going to be a little happier here, and I really hope that I was wrong on the first. Like, again, I'm going to go for a walk today and cleanse and maybe macro. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna cleanse my mind. But the third thing I want to hope for is JT Miller getting back to putting 90-plus points back on the table. It's
interesting.
It's not impossible. He plays on what we must believe is one of the best power plays in hockey. And he's also going to play on that power play with two guys who want to shoot the puck more, and that's Pettersson. Yo, dude, he's got top 3, top 5 shot in the game. When it's on, it's on. I think he's going to showcase that this year. It's going to be really on. And didn't he win a harder shot competition too, if I'm correct? And I could be wrong on that. Maybe he hasn't done that, but he's like clocked it up there. And this is just that goal we've seen in preseason. Like, not a lot of players can load up a wrist shot like that and just perfect it. And we've seen that so many times already in his career. And then we got Quinn Hughes, who wants to shoot more, and he'll do so on the power play. And JT Miller will pick up points, and hopefully it helps with his confidence too, 5-on-5, and he's able to carry guys like Mikheyev or Besser or Beauvillier or Hoaglander, whoever he plays with, because those top 2 lines in Vancouver are everything to the success of the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, that's an interesting prediction about JT. I mean, I think it's bold in the sense that, based on aging curves and based on maybe people's opinion of him in this market, 90 point seems a bit bold.
Dude.
But that being said, he was on that pace under Tocchet last year. So if you're believing in how he played under Tocchet last year, that's certainly possible. I think a bold prediction would have been maybe the Canucks would have the second best power play in the league. Like, I think everyone thinks Edmonton will be number 1, but Canucks got the weapons to have one of the best power plays in the league. And we saw it in spurts last year, but they ended up finishing outside the top 10. So that would have been another one. Let us know in the comments whose bold prediction you like best, and make sure you leave your bold predictions in the comments below, and maybe we'll read it on a comment corner. Again, no comment corner today. Got a little Beggsy versus Bowen on the other side. But first, I gotta tell you, whether you're an employer, whether you're an employee looking for new work, if you're looking for a job or you're looking to hire, you gotta use Indeed, because Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates with the right skills. Don't waste your time, because you could do it all with Indeed. Do you hate waiting? Because Indeed's U.S. data shows that over 80% of Indeed's employers find quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match their job description the moment they sponsor a job. Something I love about Indeed, I can relate to them. My wife calls me the Flash, and Indeed's they're
Ooh.
pretty much the same, okay? Because they got instant match. So Mr. Flash, Mr. Mrs. Instant Match over at Indeed, you gotta love what they're putting out, because with Instant Match, as soon as you sponsor a post, you get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description, and you can invite them to apply right away. Indeed, they know when you're growing your own business, you have to make every dollar count. That's why with Indeed, you will only pay for quality applications that meet your must-have job requirements. So go visit Indeed.com/lockedon to start hiring right now. Go to Indeed.com/lockedon. Indeed.com/lockedon. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application. Price not available for everyone. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
I heard Indeed's new tagline. Did you see it? Their new tagline?
No.
No, I just saw commercials. It was like, love your job more than you love your wife.
What?
I'm joking. People, before we get back to the show, baby, I gotta tell you that new episodes of Locked On Canucks will be available wherever you stream podcasts and on YouTube at 4:20 p.m. for no reason at all, okay? New episodes every day at 4:20 p.m. Again, wherever you stream podcasts and on YouTube. Let's get back to the show. Okay, you're back on another episode of Locked On Canucks. Shout out to the Locked On Podcast Network, man. Yeah, I got a message to everyone on this network because they work hard, man. They doing this every day. It's your Canucks every day, aka it's your team every day, and these guys are working hard. And my message to them would be a fan first. You know what I'm saying? Let the love lead the way. The truth sets you free, and the love will lead the way. Speaking of love, Beggsy, I know I asked you this question an hour ago, but it's another day, so I'm going to ask you again, and just give me something new, okay? Because it's the most important question in the world. How you doing, Trevor?
I'm excited, man, and sports is a big part of my life. I am excited for the preseason to wrap up, for the regular season to kick off. But I'm probably one of the only guys who's like under the age of 35 who's a big CFL fan, and
Oh,
my
yeah.
BC Lions got a big game against the Winnipeg
Okay.
Blue Bombers for first in the West. So I'm stoked for that, man. A little BC pride. Let's go Lions.
You know what? I was going to say something sarcastic there, but we're leading with love. And you're looking after our neighbors when you say things like that, and let's continue to do so. On that note, we're not really looking after our neighbors on today's episode because Komment Korner is not here, and that's because this episode is from the past, and we got things to do. Don't worry, we'll pick it up next week. Anyways, Beggsy vs. Bowen. I'm excited for this question, Trevor. I think I'm feeling it, okay? The Gatorade, the coffee, the espresso from the sandwich shop. I'm a dangerous guy right now, and I know it's been only 5 months, but I feel as if I'm close to you. You know how you're like 94 overall? I think like I'm at 83, and sometimes upsets happen. So bring it on.
All right, let's get into it real quick. I got about 3 minutes before I gotta
Yeah.
hop into a meeting. But Beggsy versus Bowen, we're gonna argue who's gonna be the more impactful winger on the Canucks next season. More impactful winger, is it gonna be Brock Besser or Ilya Mikheyev? And I think that I'm arguing for Brock Besser because I think this guy is
Man.
gonna have his best NHL season to
Whoa.
date. He's gonna be on the first power play unit.
What?
He's gonna end up on that line with Pettersson and Kuzmenko.
Yep.
They're gonna form one of the best lines in hockey. I
Ooh.
see Besser. He's not gonna maybe be a 30 goal scorer, but he's going to be a solid play driver at even strength. He's going to look a lot better playing on that top line with Pettersson and Kuzmenko. The guy's going to produce offense all over the ice. He's not going to be a liability.
Oof.
And Ilya Mikheyev, are you kidding me, man? This guy coming off an ACL tear.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I don't see this guy having anywhere near the impact that Brock Besser is going to bring to the Vancouver Canucks.
Dude, okay, first of all, Trevor, earlier you go off on people who are hitting the aging curve, right? JT Miller, dude, we're hitting the aging curve, okay? So be nicer to people. And now you're calling this guy out, McCabe, even though he has the biggest heart in the world, and you're calling out the fact that, again, his ACL got torn up, blah, blah, blah. Talk about his heart, okay? And a player like McCabe helps you win games, okay? The shorthanded department for this team has been absolute trash. And I feel as if the only way they can go from the 30th best team at the penalty kill to, the 20th is if McCabe is one of the best penalty killers in hockey. And I think that's going to happen. He's going to be important. And we talked about winning playoff round, not rounds, but round. And I feel as if Mikheyev at his best is more impactful when games really matter. And he's going to be playing with a lot of confidence and, again, a lot of love. This guy loves the game. Some people are calling the Canucks stupid, a little stupid for how they handled his knee last year. but maybe they needed a bit of that heart in that dressing room, you know? This guy just got here and he cares this much about putting this jersey on. He barely knows you guys, but he's doing it for the right reasons because he's grateful to be a part of this organization on the best coast, yes, the best coast of Canada. I got to cheer for a guy like that. This guy, both these guys doing the most, for real. I'm cheering for both these guys, man. Not about competition, baby. Not about competition, love. And I want the most from, in my opinion, it's kind of switched back and forth, but I'm kind of looking at it because, actually, I'm not going to say it. I was going to say Besser's going to play with Miller. It's kind of looking like that, but I really don't want that to happen, okay? We're going to end off on that note. Can we please get Brock Besser off of JT Miller's line?
Let's get out of here, okay? No, Brock Besser, again, going to be more impactful than Ilya Mikheyev. But again, as much as these little debates are fun, it's about the team, okay? It's about the Canucks winning some games, putting that positivity in the atmosphere because the regular season is about to get underway and the Canucks need to start off right. Hopefully, you'll be along for the ride with us here on Locked On Canucks, whether you're an everyday or an occasional listener, or if you just tune in once in a while, we appreciate the heck out of you. Next week, it all begins. Regular season action. We got you covered here on Locked On Canucks. But for now, I'm Trevor Beggs. That guy's Kyle Ballin, and you've been listening to Locked On Canucks.